Welcome acolytes. Today we're gonna react to Asmongold about Blizzard's latest decision. Now I personally don't really know what he's talking about because I didn't hear anything about Blizzard's decision, and I assume it just hits every single thing in World of Warcraft, not just one or Season of Discovery or Classic, but everything. But I still don't know what exactly happened because, well, as probably a lot of you, I also still am a Palworld enjoyer. So, by the way, if you like my content, subscribe and leave a comment. Those are the two things I want from you. The rest is irrelevant. No, it isn't. I want to actually hear your freaking voice about this. What do you think? Because I like discussions. It's just nice to have some. That's why I'm reacting to someone and not doing my own thing. It's just fun for me. But let's see what the man has to say about Blizzard and what they do.
So they're banning GDKP. We're gonna hear exactly what.
No! No, that's bad. No, don't get me wrong. I think GDKP is not the nicest thing that you can have in a game because it basically corrupts the entire, community. And it's not a totally good thing. I would even say maybe a bit not the best thing to do, but I make my money this way. So, F me. I have to find a new way. Damn, I probably go for mage runs again. I hate those, by the way. I hate those. Or just farm raw gold. Let's see.
Blizzard said about it. Here it is.
So the last topic that we really want to talk about, and this is kind of a big one, is just jumping right into it. Starting with Phase 2 of Season of Discovery, we're going to be experimenting with a new policy change.
Oh, okay, so it's only Season of Discovery. The thing I'm playing. Of course, yes.
GDKP will no longer be permitted in Season of Discovery realms.
So I'm gonna pause and say I think this is a bad decision, but I think it's a good thing that they're testing it. I think that Season of Discovery, they should test things like this and see how it affects the player base. And it's good that they're testing it now rather than waiting until 60. So yeah, turn up your browser sound a bit. Is it?
Yeah, he's right though. Yeah, if they want to test it, it's better now than later. Because if it's a fail, they can just, redo it. Or do it again. That's no problem. Yeah, I mean, it's a good thing in testing it, but I still think it's bad. It's different now. It's not bad. I think it's good, but it's bad for me, for F's sake.
Defend GDKP, please? Yeah, sure. No, I will. I'll explain why I think that it's a bad decision. But let me just finish and I'll listen to the rest of this. Is the volume bad? Because, to me, it's loud.
To kind of recap, for anyone who does not know what GDKP or gold bid raids or dungeons are, it's essentially a raid or a dungeon run where the loot rules is that all loot that is distributed is essentially purchased with gold.
I turned it up.
So an item will drop. It's then put up for bid by the loot master or whoever's doing the loot, and interested parties then bid gold for the item. And the highest bid wins. And when the gold is received, it's split within the participants of the raid. This is something we've been discussing for a very long time on WoW Classic, and it's not a decision we've arrived at lightly. It's fair to say that GDKP has some benefits to individuals who don't want to be tied to a traditional guild or set raid schedule, and GDKPs are, while largely transactional, another social activity in the game, and we're always hesitant to discourage anything that gets people in groups and playing together. However, we do remain concerned that GDKP erodes traditional guild and social.
Yes, because now this is but I really don't want to agree with Blizzard on this, but I have to. I think it just corrupts and erodes the freaking social aspect of the classic game. Because even though I'm making money with it, but I think at the end it's better for the game if it's not here. Now, Asmongold presumably disagrees with me, But I think for the long run, for the longevity of the game, it's better this way. Because not everybody is a greedy fuck.
Social structures that are in many cases the basis of our most fond memories of original World of Warcraft. And it's undeniable that GDKP contributes to and drives a lot of malicious accounts, illicit activity, RMT, botting, all of the things we just talked about. Season of Discovery is highly experimental in its nature, and we take chances. And this is another chance we're taking. We want to give an honest...
And that's, by the way, good. That's very good. That's outstandingly good.
...try to a version of World of Warcraft without GDKP present, and this is our best option.
I think that's a good idea. Even though I disagree with the conclusion, and I don't think that I think GDKP is good, I think that it's a good idea to try without it. See what happens. Everybody complains about GDKP. All right, well, fuck, let's try it. Let's see what happens with no GDKP. That's smart.
Yeah, that's smart. And I know what happens without GDKP. I'm not making my money this way. It's just, for the low-level rates, it's just one of the easiest ways of making money for me. I play a tank, so I get always some kind of placement, 1090 split. I always have a list of actual items, what costs, or the minimum, and just go in.
And it's an even better idea to do it now, whenever you're not at max level. Because like now it's like, because it's not really going to matter right now. So they're going to have the data, they're going to have the culture change, and they can actually really look at it and then say, okay, well, we had phase 1 and it went like this. Now we have phase 2, it's going like this. And where do we want to go from here? It's smart for them to do it.
Opportunity for that. So as of the launch of Phase 2 on February 8th,
Yeah.
GDKP will no longer be permitted in the Season of Discovery.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to release additional communications with another FAQ to kind of go with this FAQ,
Sure.
talking about this. And, you know, once we do, we'll have that posted on forums and stuff. We'd really like to hear what you think. And we're going to really monitor feedback closely on this. This is a test, and ultimately this decision came as a result of your feedback.
Yeah, a lot of people complain about it.
You know, we want to hear more of what you think of this. We want to hear how it goes.
Yeah, and the people that actually complain about it, even though I do it myself, I understand why. It's completely understandable why. I still prefer it as a gold making method for me personally, but as I said, I'm not alone in the game, by the way. I don't think that everything should be made for my liking. I'm not that type of guy. It's just, for me personally, I prefer it to be in the game just because I can make gold that way, and it's most of the time you just do your stuff, go in, make a quick run, and go dev out. That's why I personally like it, so yeah.
Those as we move through this next phase, and if it doesn't work out, we'll revisit this policy for future phases.
That's so smart. Thank you. That is actually the best answer and explanation they could possibly give. A lot of you fuckers want this. We're gonna try it and see how it goes, and if it doesn't go well, we'll get rid of it. That's actually like, thank fucking God, we just have common sense development.
Finally.
We really appreciate everyone who has expressed that feedback and concern.
And this is coming from somebody who disagrees with it.
Thank you. So with that, I think we're done with today's presentation.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Heartfelt thanks from the WoW Classic development team. We've been just actually blown away by the reception to Season of Discovery. We are thrilled that so many of you have been enjoying it as much as we are, and we can't wait to see you in Phase 2. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Have a great weekend. Goodbye.
Defend GDKP? Sure. GDKP is a willing participation of two different groups of people in order to combine their interests together to work towards a common goal in a way that does not actively break the terms of service. Whenever I was playing in vanilla WoW, original WoW, Wrath of the Lich King, I did GDKPs and they were the highlight of my week. I loved doing GDKPs and they were my favorite thing to do, and I didn't buy gold. I knew people that bought gold, but to be fair, they bought gold before and after GDKPs too. They were just cheaters. That's what cheaters do. And so, what is a GDKP? Fundamentally, I view a GDKP as emergent player behavior. And I view emergent player behavior as the penultimate positive outcome of MMORPGs. And what I mean by that is that things that the developer did not necessarily intend, but the player and the culture gravitates to and creates themselves. And I also dislike the idea of getting rid of GDKPs because there are a lot of people who are legitimate players who play in GDKPs every week. And those people now are being punished because Blizzard chooses not to ban people who are cheating and buying gold. So really what...
Yep, that's the negative about it. Yep, I totally agree. Sadly, it is like it is. Because people like me get punished just because a few cheaters actually don't uphold the rules and basically buy gold, use bots, anything else. But in the end of the day, I think it gets rid of the freaking player corruption a bit. And the cat and mouse game of bots actually farming this will continue in a different way. It won't disappear, so...
Blizzard is doing is they are punishing legitimate, like, TOS following players because they are too lazy to uphold their own terms of service. So what they're saying is like, we are going to punish the entire player base because we now no longer have the, we don't find it to be financially beneficial to uphold our own terms of service. And I actually think this is just like the WoW token, really. Because whenever they added the WoW token, they said, oh, well, we're doing this because people keep buying gold. So it's like, okay, the solution for people buying gold is you're going to add in a token into the game that totally commodifies the entire experience of playing it. So it's like, yeah, obviously I see what your goal is, but you're effectively just hurting the entire game and you're killing the integrity of the game. And you're making it worse because you can't be bothered to actually uphold your own game's integrity. And so at a certain point, whenever I'm being hamstrung and I'm being controlled and, you know, like I'm not able to play the game in this way, even with other people that want to play the game in that way, because there's a third party of people that I have nothing to do with that are cheating and Blizzard doesn't want to ban them because they're too lazy to hire people to do it, and now I can't play the game this way. I think this is fucking ridiculous. I think this is fucking insane.
I think he sees it a bit too crass. Now let me explain why. Because GTKP, as fun as it is, as profitable as it is still a corrupting force in World of Warcraft. And at the end of the day, if you want to have it, okay, it's fine. It's not that bad because I think it's one of the least corruptive forces. Now why would I say that? Because bots, freaking toxic players that are, I mean, that actually abuse people, ninja looting is way more toxic, and that's a way bigger problem than GTKP, because GTKP, as he says, is still, all parties are consenting to this. Nobody gets effed because of it. It's one of the most fair things you can have, or most fair, I mean, the guy with the most money will get it. But if you're bad, people won't give a fuck about you. They're gonna just kick you. If I have someone in there that actually sucks so hard that they just do absolutely nothing for the group and actively actually discourage the entire group, I'm just kicking him. There isn't a social bonding there. I won't be someone who says, okay, I'm gonna accept that. No, I don't have to. I don't know you. I don't care about you. You're just a money bag. And if the money that you carry isn't worth it, then I'm kicking you. And the thing is, guilds have social bonds. And am I saying that social bonds are bad? No, on the contrary. This is good. But if you do GDKP, you still can go in a guild, raid with them without any problem, and just hang out with your pals. You may not get the loot, because, well, you already did the thing. But hey, that's irrelevant. You can still help them. You can actively be there. And it is what it is, because everybody who was in a guild knows there will be always one dumbass, at a bare minimum, one dumbass that just drags the entire group down, week for week. And I don't mean one mistake, I don't mean like a bad day, I mean constantly. And you cannot kick him because he's the son of the guildmaster. And you know, this happens, sadly. But, let's continue.
Like, I can't play the game this way because Blizzard doesn't want to ban gold buyers? Get the fuck out of here. This is the same logic they use for adding the WoW token. So yes, I think this is fucking stupid. But I think they're making a good decision by trying it. Because the reality is, I think that my opinion is the minority. At least about the outspoken audience. There are a lot of people who tremendously disagree with me. They think that I'm totally wrong. Now, I think they're totally wrong too. But like, I'm willing to, okay, let's try it out. Let's try it your way. Let's see what it's like.
Yeah, and if it's better, it's better. That's in my eyes a good thing that Blizzard's doing right now. I mean, you can try it. I will find a different gold farming method. That's not the problem. But I prefer not to.
I think that's smart. So I love it. They should have banned it forever. Didn't they punish Soda Papa whenever he bought gold? They took all his gold away, but that's not enough of a punishment. You have to do more than that. A thriving black market is a guaranteed sign of flawed game design. Legitimizing this emergent behavior in a safe and affordable way is a decent solution. Why not just ban the people that are breaking the rules? Like, I don't understand. Like, so why not just apply the terms of service rules to people that are breaking them? Like, I don't know. Like, why is this so hard that they can't figure it out? It's crazy. Shouldn't WoW Retail do that, and not only in Season of Discovery? I don't know. I think they're trying it in Season of Discovery because it's like a transient thing. So like...
Yes, Season of Discovery is there to be tested, so... I understand that. That's fine.
They don't have to make a decision and then be held to that decision. They want to try it in like a controlled space that has a time frame, so they can see how the change will affect player behavior, which is an incredibly smart thing to do. Like, if I were them, I would be doing this. Even though I think it's the wrong idea, a lot of people want it. Let's fucking try it. I mean, fuck, isn't that the point of Season of Discovery? I think it is. So, yeah, I completely agree with them doing it, but I think it's a bad decision. Maybe this is like doublespeak for some people, but I hope a lot of you guys can see the, can see what I'm getting at here, right? Can you guys see what I'm saying here? It's in the name. Yeah. And so I'll read a few of these things, right? I see your logic, Zach, but I think that focusing on removing the bots and Z-axis restrictions makes more sense. Well, sure, but like removing bots and Z-axis restrictions, like that also goes in line with this. Absolutely. You're not the one losing money. Well, no. I mean, this is just my opinion, right? I mean, it's not like I don't have like a responsibility to Blizzard to like make them money. Like, I don't work there. I'm just giving my opinion. What's stopping people from using tools outside the game to still run these? Because Blizzard can potentially ban them. And it will take the amount of GDKPs that happen, and it will take them from, like, let's say at 100% right now, it'll take them down to 10. Because people will not want to participate in them because they risk their account.
Yes. And this is one of the biggest things. If you have a risk of your account, most people will dodge it. Just because it's too risky. I mean, I won't do them. Instantly, it's just done. Why? Because I could lose all my progress. Why would I risk it? The biscuit isn't worth it.
Nobody wants to risk their account. And by nobody, I clearly don't mean nobody, because 10% clearly still would, but substantially less. You can't remove the bots?
Yeah, you can.
Really? Because I bet you could. And I bet you could remove the top 10% of the most egregious gold buyers and if you permaban them or 6-month ban them, I bet it would set a fucking example that half of the other gold buyers would stop doing it.
Yep. I think the same, yeah.
I think that, yeah, I bet you could get a massive amount of them. And you do it publicly. You say, this is the person that did this, this is how we figured it out, and this is what they were doing. And obviously, like, you know, do it in some degree of abstract so people can't, like, reverse A/B test, reverse engineer it. And
yes. This is one of the top things. Do not make it predictable. Be a bit of an asshole sometimes. Don't do it. Don't let the people actually get used to it. Just do it sometimes. Maybe be once or twice unfair because, well, maybe a different person did a mistake, you let him through, and a different person made exactly one mistake, and you say, no, you're done. You're done. Is it fair? Nah. But it's unpredictable, and people will just be less likely to actually risk their stuff for this. So, in my opinion, yeah.
Like, get around the system, but that's what name and shame, yeah, that's what you do. Like, RuneScape does that. And also, it's like, you will always get more bots, but that doesn't mean that you should, like, every game has bots, right?
Yes,
every game has cheating. Does that mean that you should just throw in the towel and not punish people for cheating or botting? No, of course not. I think that you obviously should. So, Valve literally banned Smurf and now pro players playing on their main account. Banning works. Of course it does. Blizzard is an IP purchased by Activision, which is purchased by Microsoft. The we won't change WoW days are long gone. I don't know about that. I really don't think it would be difficult to identify the worst actors, even with a very small team. I don't think so either. I genuinely do not think that it would be hard. How do I know that? Because I know the game. I know the game inside and out. And I know how easy it would be to figure it out if you understand the game. It's like, why is it that private servers can ban people so fast? Like, there's more bots on official servers than private servers? What's the logic there? It's crazy. I think that if you earn gold by, like, playing the economy or by actually playing the game,
yes,
like, not buying gold with real money, but by playing the game, and you pay a guild to run you through an instance, I consider that a completely legitimate form of gameplay. I do.
Yeah, as he says, yeah, I even agree with his words. It's legitimate, but I still think it's a corrupting force. To a certain degree.
I completely fucking think this is fair. They just think GDKP and think of gold buying? Well, yeah, because a lot of people buy gold for GDKPs. But, like, is the problem really GDKPs, or is it the gold buying? Well, the gold buying is the problem. The GDKPs are just a symptom of that. And you could say that the GDKPs encourage people to buy gold, which is true. Absolutely, that's true. But I don't think that that's enough for me to want to ban it from everybody. I don't think that's fair to all of the other legitimate players who aren't buying gold and doing GDKPs. I don't think that's fair. You used to work for the IRS. Couldn't they just audit accounts and determine how they obtained the gold? Yes, they could. I'm almost sure that they have the tools for that. And if they don't, they're incompetent. I mean, of course you could do that. But don't GDKPs ruin server economy? Why did GDKPs ruin the server economy? Why does that happen? Like, how does a GDKP ruin a server economy? Inflation. How does it create inflation? It inflates the price of the thing. How? By buying gold. Okay, so buying gold inflates the economy. Then not GDKP then.
Correct.
Because if I have 10,000 gold and I give it to somebody else, then they have 10,000 gold. So the total amount of gold in the economy went from 10,000 to 10,000. That's not inflation. Like, that's not how it works. The inflation occurs because people are buying gold from bots. That's the problem, not GDKPs. But GDKP will lead to RMT inevitably. Won't any won't anything that you need, like having a mount that you need to buy, won't that lead to gold buying too?
Yes.
Like,
and that's completely true. Gold buying is a very big problem in a lot of different ways. And it's not just one little thing, it's a lot of things that just come together and that are simply shitty. And you cannot just say, oh yeah, this is at fault and point at one thing. No, this doesn't work that way. It just doesn't.
Because, like, if you have, like, an epic mount, and you have, like, the long boy, for example, it won't? Really? Okay, I'm just gonna tell you, I'm gonna expose him. Jeff bought his epic flying mount with his mom's credit card. He did. No, actually, no, he had some guy give him the gold for the epic flying mount. This is his epic ground mount he bought with his mom's money. He did. He fucking did it. He was, like, fucking 14, 13 years old, and he did it. Yep. Vanilla WoW or Burning Crusade. And I said, Jeff, how'd you get all that money? And I remember I was sitting behind him on his bed, looking at him at his little computer desk. And I said, Jeff, where'd you get all that gold? He says, I've been farming. Zach, what do you mean? I've got this really good farming spot. I said, what are you farming? He says, it's just stuff. And I'm like, well, what kind of stuff? He's like, oh, I don't want to tell you. You're going to take it away from me. I'm like, no, I'm not. You're hoarding. I'm Alliance. I couldn't even do that. He's like, yeah, but what if you saw him in a neutral auction house? And we're arguing about this. Then his mom comes in and she's like, Jeffrey, do you still have my credit card? And I'm like, you son of a bitch. And then even whenever that happened, and he gave it to her, he said that was for something else. I said, what was it for? I think he might have said some bullshit like Cody was trying to buy gold, not me. And it was just like, it's like I'm trying to tell him to stop. It's like he really, bro, he committed to it. And so, it's just, what's wrong? I couldn't remember. Yeah, this shit was so funny. But, like, people would always buy gold. Like, this has always been a thing, man. The only solution is to have a GDKP token in the game shop. Yeah, that's obviously what it is, right? I had something before. Yeah, he's too deep. And so, I don't think GDKPs are bad. Like, GDKPs are one of my most fond memories in WoW. And so, like, somebody takes this away from me, like, they're hurting my nostalgia. Like, I remember there was this Russian Death Knight named Reinhardt. He even made YouTube videos at the time. And he had fucking, like, his English skill was like a 5 out of 10, right? And, like, this other fucking guy, and, like, his name was Avernus. And for some fucking reason, Reinhardt would put Avernus in charge of raid leading the GDKPs. And Avernus's English skill was like a 2 or a 3. And so he would be explaining shit. Nobody would fucking know what he was saying. Everybody would be sitting there like, what the fuck? Like, what do you mean? So Marigar is gonna do a spin? Like, what do you mean a spin? He's gonna do a lawnmower. Wait, how is he gonna do a lawnmower? And he's like explaining this, and then we would have a wipe, and then Reinhardt would start yelling at Avernus and be like, you fucking idiot. Like, why don't you tell them what to do? And he's like, oh, you'll fuck you. Well, this is 2010. So, well, you can just assume what he said after that. And they would, like, start yelling at each other and start, like, arguing and fighting. And it would get louder and louder and louder. And I swear to fucking God, at some point, it would turn into Russian. They would start fucking yelling at each other in Russian in front of everybody in Vent. Everybody, it was just fucking yelling. And then after a while, all right, everybody take 5. Everybody comes back, and we do it again. And this was GDKP in 2009, 2010. It was fucking beautiful. Austin would bring his computer over, and he would have his setup right there. Jeff would have his setup right there, and we would be raiding GDKP together. Show us your dick. Dylan would sometimes be over there too. No, he'd actually sit on here and use a laptop. I remember that because he used to try to fucking, go on Omegle and shit. That's where the show us your dick came from. It came from Omegle, if you can imagine that. And so, this is what we used to do, man. It was so good. So whenever somebody says, let's and nobody was buying gold. Nobody here was buying gold. And the funny thing is that all of my other friends, I'm not going to name any names, it was like Ty Will and like Hayden and Tyler and like all these other guys, like Austin, like Tyler's brother, like all these other guys. There's another Austin, but I don't want to name any more names. So even Zach, I'm gonna be honest, Zach, you know, there were some situations, right? And so anyway, but I don't want to get into a bunch of names, right? All of them were buying gold and botting and cheating and shit, right? Never got banned. Never got banned, never did GDKP. Nothing. They would just buy BOEs on the auction house. Never. There was one time I went over to Zach's grandma's house and we were gonna go to Jack in the Box to get 44-ounce drinks because it was summer and they were $1. And I said, Zach, you ready to go? He says, oh, fuck, bro, I just joined an RBG. And I'm like, oh, okay, man. He says, nah, it's good. I got this. He turns on the bot. And he leaves the fucking Discord, the Skype call. And we just go. And I come back and he's got all these messages like, you son of a bitch. How could you do this to us? And we were laughing about this shit all the way to and from Jack in the Box. We come back and everybody said, oh, we're gonna report you. And like nothing ever fucking happened. Nothing ever came of it. And so this is really, like, whenever I hear about this shit, I just feel like this is some fucking bullshit, man. I feel like this is not what WoW used to be about for me. I used to love this shit. It was so fucking fun, man.
Yeah, that's... by the way, that's a bit nostalgia speaking from him. I understand his passion, but it's definitively... nostalgia. Because I don't think it was good in any way. It just was, well, it was what it was.
It was so fucking fun. GDKPs were my favorite part of the week. And now, at least in Season of Discovery, they're being taken away because Blizzard doesn't have... Blizzard refuses to invest the resources into the game that is required to uphold the integrity of their own game. And I find that very disappointing. I do. I think this is the wrong decision. And I completely support Blizzard making it. And I think they're making the right decision in trying the wrong decision. Because how do I think that it's the right decision, but I know that I'm not the only person that plays the game. So I think they should try it.
He's correct about that. Same thing here. Just because I dislike it doesn't mean that it's not a good thing for the game. It doesn't mean that it's actually something that most people will actually dislike as I do. So, yeah.
The other way and see how people like it. And make a decision based off of that data. Let's take an experiment. Let's try it out. I think this is smart. I support the decision, and I don't support the decision. That's what it is. That's what I think. We had a GDKP that only 3 people out of 25 would roll. Oh, yeah, like the carry runs? Yeah, we had that too. Like, so the Go Big Dick, we invented Go Big Dick to encourage people to bid more in GDKPs.
Yep.
I swear to God. Like, because it was me and Jeff that invented this. I can find the video. Because I think I showed this, didn't I? Give me a minute. Yes. Big Dick GDKP Thursdays, right there. I made this picture, cock ass, cock out, making bank like a boss, Witcher boy Asmongold. This is straight out of 2011. That's my character, by the way. And you know Danier, the girl in the fucking, oh my god, the girl in the mount competitions that I did? that had all the mounts. This is her character. That is her right there. I've known her ever since Cataclysm. That's whenever we met. And I put her in the picture. Yes. The true story of Cataclysm, if it ever happens, will be a very interesting episode. And so, yes, this is what it was. And where's she now? No, she still streams. I mean, or she still plays. These were the days, man. Big Dick GDKP Thursdays. Nazareth. That was a shaman and that other guy. I forgot even who the other guy was. The first time that I was ever on a stream was in my own GDKP raid. And Towley joined the raid. I had no fucking idea who he was. And I kept getting people joining into our event. And they were like talking and saying this weird shit. I said, who the fuck is giving out our event? Who the fuck is this guy? And I think Towley was on his warrior. They said it's Towley in the raid. I said, who the fuck is Towley? The only person I know in WoW, I know Rekful, and I know Kriparian, Rekful, and Athene, and Swifty. So if he's not one of those four guys, I don't fucking know him. And they said, no, you don't understand. Like, I didn't even know Mitch then. Like, I didn't meet Mitch until the end of Kata. Like, I met Mitch the season after this one. Like, I met him in fucking Dragon Soul. It was Cataclysmic season. Yes, Cataclysmic season. And so, you didn't know about Soda? I had no fucking idea who Soda Popham was. I had no clue.
And by the way, I don't know the guys either, but I think that's enough. Now he's just going in nostalgia. And this is the technique as it is to hear sometimes. Not right now. But as it is, acolytes, good night.